All right, you guys. So today we are going to take a look at Star Wars Outlaws on the PlayStation 5 Pro. And the first thing I wanted to do is, or the first thing I wanted to show you guys was the fact that in the display and graphics option in the menus, there's no longer an option for balanced or quality, or I'm sorry, frame rate or quality, right? So that option has been removed. There are no player options. You're basically stuck with what they're giving you. And I think that was not a good move. This game does have some ray tracing in it, and I think that you should be able to have a few options here in terms of turning ray tracing on or off, unlocking the frame rate, much like they're kind of doing with games like God of War. And I think The Last of Us might be offering an uncapped frame rate as well. But in any case, Star Wars Outlaws is not doing that. Matter of fact, they're not giving you any options. You are stuck with what you have. And with that being said, we're going to just go ahead and take a look at it. So let's get into the gameplay. I am easily, 30 minutes or more, or 30 hours or more into this game. I was playing it for a while in performance mode, but the visuals were just so terrible on the base PlayStation 5 that I kind of put it down and I started playing it on PC. I do have a PC, don't hang me, but I just was just looking for the better experience. I wanted to see what that looked like, and while it does look better on PC, it's not a wide margin with the exception of the frame rates, right? So you do get really good frame rates on that game in on PC, and that is, I mean, well worth it. But anywho, we're on PlayStation 5 Pro. Let's get into it. Now, as you can see here, we are in. As you can see here, we are in the what do you call it here? The Miragana city, and we're just kind of hanging out. Um, Now, as you can see as I pan around, this is definitely a solid 60 frames per second without question. It looks pretty smooth as I'm panning around. This is about half the speed as I pull right on the right thumbstick. Um, so I pan a little bit harder. It gets a little fuzzy, but you can still make out the details and the images in the back. Now that's, yeah, full speed. So I mean, it's doable. It's certainly doable. I think 60 frames. I don't think video games should be making games that are less than 60 frames. Um, I think 60 frames should be the base performance experience in gaming in 2024. But unfortunately, they got to keep the consoles affordable. And up until now, we were having to sacrifice visual quality for frame rates. We don't have to do that anymore on this PlayStation 5 Pro. I think that's the biggest benefit. So if you're looking for the best gaming experience and you want the best console gaming experience, the PlayStation 5 Pro is going to be it. Now, I think this is a fantastic game. I really do like Star Wars Outlaws, but it's not without my gripes. I think Ubisoft, they're great at pumping out these open world games, stuffing them with a bunch of side quest fillers, and I think they do that well. They've done quite a few games really well in that regard. For me, it's the visuals. Okay, so I'm a little bit of a 4K visual gamer. I want to see good looking games, and I think Ubisoft fumbled the ball in that regard here. The biggest example I'm gonna give at the very moment, because we're in the city and we're not out in the open world, is the hair on the character. Kate's hair. Um, I mean, this is PlayStation 3 hair right here, you guys. It's not that good. The details in it are terrible. Um, And so if you're playing an open world game like this, and you have to stare at the back of this character's head, um, godly, like I think you can do the hair so much better. I mean, you really use, it's not even PSSR, it's just how they designed the hair. So that's going to be my biggest gripe with this game. But I love the game. I love the Star Wars games for that matter. Jedi Survivor is a fantastic game. If you guys haven't played that, definitely go play that. And what they've done with Star Wars Outlaws is fantastic too. I like the fact that she's not a Jedi. I like what they're doing with her just in terms of kind of like, you know, keeping it at a real grounded level in terms of, just being a smuggler and whatnot. So I like all of those aspects of the game. I love the Star Wars world for that matter. I don't want to give away my age, but, I definitely grew up around the Star Wars era with the early movies. And so I think the fact that they're making Star Wars video games, it's a total win. And I'll continue to play them as they put them out. But I think this is more of a Ubisoft complaint more than anything else. I mean, her hair just looks something from like, it's just awful. Which leads me into my only other gripe, which is the open world area. So let's go out there. Get the speeder over here. Beeping at me. Where are you? I heard it. Where's it at? Oh, there it is. Okay. So let's get on the speeder. Can we? There we go. Okay. Speaking of gripes and mechanics. Alright, so I didn't really make this video to complain. I should probably keep it short in that regard. But I just think it's the vegetation, it's plants and the trees and the grass is kind of, it's just really fuzzy. It doesn't look that good. I mean, if you look at a game like Ghost of Tsushima, which has got all of that island green vegetation grass, I mean, the vegetation in that game looks really good. But other than the character hair and the vegetation, I like the game. I do like the game. It's totally playable now. I wasn't having that much fun with it on the base PS5 because when you went to performance mode, I mean, it looked horrific. It looked like it was 480p, if I'm being honest. And I mean, even though this is going to be a 4K video, I honestly think the way this vegetation is present, I don't think they're using PSSR very well here. I think that, I mean, it's just fuzzy. So, but it looks better than what it did in terms of the performance mode on the base PlayStation, right? I think they did incorporate the quality and the performance from the base PlayStation 5, and they put them together here. But I think they just could have did a better job here. The grass just looks fuzzy and pixely and all those other fancy terms that you want to talk about video game rendering and visualizations and checkerboard and all that stuff. So anywho, let me just check the time really quickly. Yeah, we're about 10 minutes into this video. Again, I don't want to make it seem like I'm griping too much about this game. I do really enjoy the game. But if I'm being honest, I am a visual gamer. I want good visuals. And I want good frame rates for that matter. I want the best experience that video games have to offer. And I think Ubisoft just fumbled the ball a little bit here with this game. Visually, okay? Visually. The game itself is good. You're clearly getting a solid 60 frames here. And now, honestly, I think I'm gonna go ahead and finish this game out on console. It's really tough when you put so many hours into a game on one platform and then go play it on another, and then you have to kind of like make all that time up, right? So, um, but a couple interesting points. There's just not a whole lot of user options in terms of the graphics. They gave you what you have, and you're stuck with it. So, um, I mean, I wonder what this would look like if we had a graphical option. I wonder if the vegetation would look better than what it does. But Ubisoft decided to just pull the plug on the user options, and you have what you have. So look at here, as I pan around, this is something I wanted to talk about also. As I pan around, there's a little bit of a ghosting effect around her body and her hair in conjunction with kind of like how it's trying to render that grass in right behind her, right? So, um, this is the biggest scrap I had on the original console. And I think, this game's been out for a while. I'm not sure they're going to put out a patch that's going to make this game look any better, but it is the better experience compared to the older console. So it's probably going to be the best experience on any console for that matter. So, anyways, that's my 2 cents. This is another PlayStation 5 Pro tested video, and we hope you enjoy what you saw. I'm sure what you heard is quite subjective, but in any case, we're going to wrap it there. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.